I just had sex, and it felt so good, felt so good.
My lesson put his penis inside me. I want to tell the world. Oh my God. I finally got laid.
Mazel tov.
And guess what you also did?
I got laid too. It hadn't been quite as long for me, I don't think.
Don't make me look like a fucking loser.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just saying it wasn't like it wasn't a Lonely Island I just had sex moment.
Honestly, mine really was.
I'm really happy for you, man.
Thank you. Let's introduce our guest today. Please congratulate us on getting fucked, Connor Creagan.
Congratulations, both of you. Honestly,
Thank you.
I don't resent you, or I don't envy you at all in your recent romantic
You're
adventures.
Just really happy for us.
Yes, I am ecstatic. I couldn't be happier. I don't want to kill myself.
Have you been having a dry spell?
Oh my blog! I've been having a dry spell for ages, it feels like, but I did just get tested and I'm negative, so get at me, boys.
Put it out there,
just
everybody.
saying, as of March 2018, your boy's clean.
That's
step right up.
I should get tested actually. Well, I came out of a relationship and I got tested before I got in, but
Oh, so you're good.
now that I'm fucking, now that I'm in the game,
Yeah, you need to get some new results.
right?
You got to frame them,
Oh,
put it
I'm
on
so
your wall.
excited.
I went over to Andrea's yesterday to do some work, and I did take a quick nap in her bed before we got started.
Yeah.
I'm getting sick, hence the
Yeah, you should
loss
get
of
tested.
my voice. I should get tested for sure. Yeah.
Did you wear a condom?
Yes, of course.
When you slept in her bed, just right over your foot.
Yeah. Right.
I went through a phase between the ages of 23 and maybe like 24 and a half where I didn't wear condoms and
I know.
but I'm
Yes.
fine. Nothing happened. And I learned my I didn't learn my lesson the hard way, but I just, I straightened out my act. But ever since then, Andrea won't let me forget it. And it's so obnoxious
I make you
because
seem like such a dirty bitch.
that
Well, she
and
didn't wear a condom, so I
right.
was like,
But dude, I have forgiven and forgotten so many crazy things that this bitch has done.
I know. Listen. I remember the condom conversation we had. And I was like, you could get herpes. You could get herpes. Everyone has herpes.
Yeah, well, one person in this room has gotten chlamydia, and it's not me. So
it's, for the record, also guys trying to fuck me, it's not me either, so
I will go on record and say I gave and got chlamydia amongst, a group of comedians.
you're patient zero.
I
of,
really
like,
was, yeah. I met a female comic who got my chlamydia, and I knew, but she didn't know, and I just almost wanted to be like, I'm sorry.
But you didn't tell her.
The guy that she got it from told her, but so she already knew, but I knew.
oh yeah,
that I
she
was
didn't
the dirty
need to
brat.
know. Yeah, she didn't need to know that the origin story of the chlamydia.
Yeah.
it's just important that she knew.
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
imagining one of those infection movies, where it's always everybody in hazmats, children getting separated from their parents,
And then there's me in I'm
they're spraying you with shit.
I'm the dirty patient zero slut.
Oh yeah, but anyway, I took a nap in your bed and I saw the condom wrapper on your night table, and I was like,
Kudos.
"This bitch left the condom wrapper there just as an added, you know what I did."
The Magnum condom wrapper.
Snaps to that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I've ever encountered one of those.
Really? I've been on a big dick streak for this is the fourth big dick. Yeah.
Big dick streak, sure.
It's really great. There's something magical that the universe is sending my way, and I'm just going to keep receiving it in the form of big dicks. But we had sex. It's very creepy how synced up we are to one another.
Well, our menstrual cycles have synced up because we spend so much time together. Yeah, we get our periods in the same week, and I think that might be why. Because I think we probably ovulate at the
our
same time.
horniness is now on the same schedule.
We probably we got horny at the same time of the month, and there wasn't. I mean, obviously there wasn't any conversation. That would be weirder if we were like, "Are you gonna fuck tonight?" Then maybe I'll fuck tonight.
See, that's what guys are like all the time.
Really?
Like that,
Yeah,
guys
constant
all
horny.
are all. I was like,
Oh, are
guys
constantly
are always
horny.
but it's always like, what are you trying to fool? You know?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, maybe not everyone all the time, but for the most part.
No, yeah, when
Yeah,
you said that, I thought you meant guys are like, what's your fucking schedule this week? If you're fucking on Wednesday, maybe I'll fuck on Wednesday.
I mean, guys.
Maybe they are too.
Guys are talking about fucking. I feel like a lot. I don't know though.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm generalizing, but I feel like when you see 4 guys wearing like shirts and no jackets on like a Friday night in January, you're like, oh yeah, you guys are synced up for sure.
Oh yeah, they're in a pack. They're in a wolf pack.
100, like their eyes are black like a shark's. There's
Yes.
blood in the water.
Oh yeah.
And they are hungry.
You see them at a bar and like there's just this desperate look in their eyes, like, can I buy you a drink? And you're like, okay.
It's like a puppy with a gun.
Yes.
You know, you're like, oh wow, you really want somebody to take you, and you'll do anything.
Literally anything. Yeah, no, it's a bit scary. We were both getting a little bit scary, and I think that that's why we both pulled the trigger. My reason for not, so this guy that I hooked up with is really cute. It's not like I was like, oh God, I guess I'll fuck this guy. It's just he's in the comedy community and the podcasting community. We we have kind of a professional relationship. We were friendly.
Scandalous.
I know, so scandalous.
But you weren't getting like a really clear sign from him that he wanted it, right?
I was getting I'm a good vibes reader.
Sure.
And I was getting it, but I was like, if I'm wrong and I have this lovely relationship with this person, and I just take it to the sexual place and I'm wrong, it's going to be so awkward. But then I was like, fuck it. I'm horny as hell. Let's try.
Yeah, it always gets to a tipping point
It
where
really
you're like,
was.
I'm gonna
I'm throwing
dive
it
right
out
into
there. And so I sent him a text message. I said, so first I was like, hey, I'm going to say something real bold and I'm nervous. And he was like, okay, what's up? And so I said, okay, here we go.
Here we go. 6 O's.
I gotta keep
I have the
it
message in front of me
casual.
too.
I really enjoy our professional relationship / friendship.
Oh my God.
And I wouldn't want to make anything awkward and weird. So if this is not something you're into, I won't be offended in the least.
Just pause for a second. So that already we've used 2 slashes in the first
Awkward /
sentence.
weird.
Relationship / friendship.
I abuse slashes as well.
Slash this, slash that. Let's
Sometimes-
cover it all.
Let's just cover it all.
So
And
just so
sometimes
you know, I know that we have this thing going on. It's a friendship. I mean, kind of relationship, business, whatever.
I'm sorry if I'm coming off bold or / extreme, but I like / want to have sex / fuck you /
slash. If you're down for it, and if not, slash is fine. Slash.
Well, whatever you want. Let's see where it goes. I'm not pushy.
/ bold. Okay.
My text messages would be called Andrea Allen is speaking in / bold right now.
etc.
But since we're both out there in the dating nightmare world, he got out of a relationship recently too. I was wondering if you'd ever be into hanging in the non-friends way. Netflix and chill is what the kids call it.
You did that.
I did.
Is what the kids say.
I'm a fuddy-duddy old bitch.
Netflix and chill / hanging and banging /
Netflix / chill.
rendezvous / tete-a-tete. Come over and
Please fuck me.
/ like me.
/ I'm really embarrassed. I said, I'm not into anything serious, but you're cute and fun and I like hanging with you. So I thought, why not throw it out there?
Oh my. Wow. Poetry.
It really was. I was like, as soon as I sent it, I'm like, this could be really very bad, but / why not? /
I don't really care at this point.
I don't give a shit. I'm alienating my peers. Someone needs to eat my fucking box. It's been too long. There's been too many Tinder blow-offs. My confidence is shot.
That's the thing with the Tinder. All that. It's just blow off.
There's no accountability.
There's no-
I'm texting
There's
you.
no accountability / responsibility.
/
Getting fucked.
/ human dignity being thrown around. I mean, it's like so humiliating.
Now, okay, if he had responded to this message with anything but "What's your address?" I would be shocked.
I'm waiting for it to be like, K.
Yeah, exactly. No, he was so sweet. I knew I could tell that he was into it, but I said to him, I was like, I feel he's a very, very shy, like he's like a really nice guy. He's very respectful and quiet. And I was like, I feel bad for the quiet, nice guys because, especially in comedy, because right now everything's like rape, me too, and like I'm
rape me too. Yeah.
slash me too slash rape slash don't be a weirdo slash. And I think it's great, but I also
That's
think
actually the one scenario that you can't forget the slash.
yeah, exactly.
Rape me too.
Sleep slash me too. But I'm not gonna say I feel bad for straight white men because I don't, but I'll say that like someone like him, I think he'd be too worried to put it out there just purely out of I don't want to seem like a creep.
Well, you were worried to cross the line, so obviously he's going to be worried too.
Yeah, but I'm the more bold slash sexually adventurous one, so I just went for it. And he was like, "I'm glad you did." He was like, "I was thinking about it, but I would have never pulled the trigger." Just so
it really makes you think. Yeah, it makes you think, like, how many opportunities have people missed out on? Well, I want to start a foundation.
Oh, I would.
Send that paragraph text, girl.
I got it. That inspires me because there are so many times where I'm like, I'll just like wait. Like, I'm just like a delicate piece of fruit waiting to be plucked by like a guy who looks like Joaquin Phoenix.
No, you got to pluck Joaquin.
I got to pluck Joaquin.
Well, because you feel like, because there's a certain dance, and the people who seem emotionally unavailable and blow you off, you want them more and they're more coveted.
Of course, yeah.
And I totally get that, and I fall for that. But sometimes you just have to fucking grab the bull by the dick and get it done.
Yeah, jerk that bull off.
And jerk that bull off.
Well, I've
put
had
a man
people.
of condom on his gigantic dick.
That's a good thing you had magnums.
He forgot condoms. He came over.
Sure, he did.
He's the cutest shit ever. He came over with like a big backpack because he had work the next day. And he's texting me. He's like, by the way, I forgot condoms. Is there like a nice bodega near you? And I was like,
a nice one.
Yeah, he's got to get the good shit. The shady bodegas don't have the gold standard condoms. And I was like, oh, I've got condoms. And he was like, okay, I'm sorry to say this, but like I need a slightly bigger. He's like apologizing for having a big dick. I'm like,
never apologize.
You're a fucking angel.
Never apologize.
Come into my arms.
That is so funny.
It was just so delightful.
See, if he was a sicko, that'd be very manipulative, right?
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'm sorry, my dick's just so big.
Yeah.
But it sounds like he's like an honestly
he was
like,
apologizing
sheepish person.
in earnest about his giant
that.
dick. So me and Emily had a business call in the morning, and
Which I pushed back.
we both sounded so ratchet on the phone. I was like, hello.
I could tell by the tone of your voice that like something had gone. I mean, you were very pleased with yourself.
Oh, I've been walking around like on cloud nine since this happened.
But yeah, so I post up in this Hungarian bakery and to take this call from it was Purim. It was the other day. I was eating a
happy Purim.
hamantashen. Very delightful. I'm waiting for Andrea's phone call. And she's like, guess what I fucking did last night? And I was like, did you have sex? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, well, so did I.
Hey!
I had sex with, you know how, I guess mostly in like 90s sitcoms, the player type, like the male player would have like a Rolodex.
Of course.
This is the key player in my Rolodex. Like, this is a guy that I dated when I was 23. We have sex like 6 months to a year apart.
Well, you had sex with him after your last breakup as a palate cleanser.
every time I need like
No kidding.
a guarantee,
Okay.
Yeah.
I will give him a call, and like he's always.
Does he know he's this for you? I mean, he's got to assume.
He must know,
yeah.
right?
He's not going to be like, oh, no, she wants to be with me.
Well, like
It's been a year.
I definitely don't. It's weird. Like, I don't really talk about who I'm dating or like if I'm dating with him. But he did ask me, which is it felt weird.
He wants to get back in there as an interview.
I'm not so sure about that. I don't. It was very weird though. I met him at a beer garden, and we were just like hanging. We were playing a lovely game of Jenga, and
Okay.
he's so.
Like-
it is so. The reason why it's so like perfect and easy for me is because like
You don't respect him as a person.
Because she beat him in Jenga.
Yeah.
He beat me, and I was super pissed
But
about
you
it.
let him win, right?
Yeah, obviously.
I always let the boys win.
What a gentleman.
He's your Rolodex bitch.
We literally get together, we play games, we catch up, shoot the shit, and then we bone. But he did tell me a story. We were walking back to his apartment, and he tells me a story that it made me almost not go through with the fucking. It was the craziest story I've ever heard.
Especially considering what he's very preppy.
He
was a teacher. He's very buttoned up looking.
He's very buttoned up. I mean,
Not that those guys aren't freaks.
No,
but
Right.
the one thing is, like, he and I have had, like, the most public sex I've ever had in my life has always been with this person. Oh yeah, like like finger banging in a park. We like have
I love a good finger bang.
fucked in like public restrooms, and he fucked me on a pier once.
That's cool.
It's like some of the more.
He's a little wilder, I guess.
The first time we met, he like went down on me in a cab. It's like it's always been. We've always
In motion?
in motion and
Seatbelts?
no. I mean,
he just wrapped it around his neck.
listen.
Oh, he is a freak. Okay, cool.
Listen, safety goes out the window when you're in the heat of the moment.
Lick it or take it.
But I was wearing pants.
When he
so
went down on you?
So you pulled your pants down?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of energy.
In the cab.
Yeah.
In the cab. But anyway, I mean, that's just like
thirsty
a side.
box eater.
But anyway, so like, he has a freaky side, but this was so above and beyond.
What did he do?
Okay, so he reveals to me that before we ever met, so like maybe like 5 years ago or something, he had a threesome with a chick and his brother.
Oh my Lord.
So he says this like it's like not. He says it like he knows.
Was he trying to act like it's casual?
No, okay. He says it like he knows that I'm going to have a reaction, but he almost says it like I'm not going to ask any follow-up questions. Like, oh yeah, I have had a threesome. Like, it was actually with my brother. And I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Were you screaming on the street?
I was howling
Yeah.
on the streets of the Upper West Side.
He's like, what? It was with my sister. Yeah, it's like, you sick bastard. It's so close to incest. I'm sorry.
It's
so close.
so their dicks were practically
touching.
and it gets so much better. So
It gets, oh god.
Slash better / worse.
So apparently a friend of his matched with this girl on Tinder, but like wasn't really interested in meeting up with her. So already it's like this is already fucked up because this was a third party recommendation for him to fuck this chick
With his brother.
But his brother
With his
brother was visiting from out of town. So I guess rather than going
to Times Square or the fucking Statue of Liberty, hey, let's fuck this chick together. That's a real experience.
hey, I'm going to fuck this chick. You want to join? Like, you want to latch onto this experience? So they go. I'm assuming they're hammered.
I mean, God willing.
At least drunk.
I
They
hope
must have
that
been. I mean, there must have been some kind of.
I hope there was some sort of controlled substance.
I hope coke was involved. I
Yeah.
hope something.
Ketamine. Something.
Horse tranquilizers, heroin.
to justify.
So he starts having sex with this girl. She's on
Is the
top.
brother just like hanging? Like
The brother's just hanging. The brother's basically like cuckolding. Like he's watching them.
Ew. Okay, New York apartments are too small.
I know.
Just like this is why. Yeah.
So she's on top, and then his brother gets behind her and starts fucking her in the ass.
Okay.
DP.
They DP'd.
Wow.
Their
That's
dicks
real.
were like.
I thought that was like.
I just thought
made
that
up.
was
It's
a porn
real.
thing.
Yeah, I thought it was like CGI every time.
Yeah. How did they?
His dick was like a quarter of an inch away from his brother's.
Yeah, they were pumping at the same flashlight. Because when you were telling me, I was like, wait, so how? Because I was thinking, okay, so she's on top.
The mechanics work in my mind. She's
had-
on top.
Okay.
So she's on top. I guess she's like kind of leaning
But
over.
then his brother would have to be so low. I think.
It's like a lot. Like it
So
would
like
have-
you know when you do the spider on the swing set.
Yes.
That's what the brothers were doing with the
With her.
in between them.
Yeah. Like he'd have to crouch over her almost and just really like get in. I don't know.
Or maybe if she. Maybe,
well, I think she was probably angled a little bit up. I think
if
she
his
was
legs
probably
were up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway,
Oh my god.
I hear this story, and
you're
I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" And I say, and then he's like, "But I don't count that as a threesome."
No, I
No,
count
you
that
do.
as
You count-
incest. Yeah, that's what I
you
count,
count that as a threesome. Yeah.
It counts as a threesome, and it
You
also
DP'd
counts as,
somebody
with
You
your
ca-
brother.
You can't not like.
It also counts as probably the most fucked up thing you will ever do sexually.
Yeah, it's pretty up there.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I mean, what is he gonna bring his mom in? What's
yeah,
like, the next logical
step is like you're on forensic
I
files
don't-
and your fibers are in this girl's dress and she's 8 and in Illinois.
And apparently, he and his brother have never talked about this
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, what's the
course they
next
haven't.
day?
either. What do you say?
What's the next day? Like?
You want to check out
What's
a museum?
breakfast look like?
Yeah.
Ew,
Hey,
ew.
remember when we both entered the same woman's body? So at any point after the brother fucking had been expressed, were you like, am I going to check out of this? Or...
I was already in it.
Yeah, no, it's fair. I can't say I would have walked away. I'm going to be honest. I'm a fucking pig, too.
I was already in it. I was already drunk. We
Plus,
were
you
already
fucked him post brother fucking. Like, you're already
countless
sullied
times.
with this.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's so funny to me that I have the entire time I've known this guy, he has had this experience, and I never knew this.
So this is like a while.
This was way
ago.
before he met me.
Ah.
I mean, who's saying that to anybody they want to impress?
I know he must really trust me at this point.
Yeah, which is dumb because we talk constantly about everything.
I mean, I'm
on this
talking about this
podcast.
on a podcast that a lot of people listen to.
Shouldn't have dumped you for the other chick, bitch.
There it is.
I mean,
it is.
that was years ago. I'm not mad about that anymore.
You should all. If I would never, but if I ever had a threesome with any of my family members, nobody's ever hearing about it
No.
again, and that family member is dying under mysterious circumstances.
Oh yeah, it ends
mean-
there. I'd light that whole place on fire.
I'd kill myself.
Yeah,
I certainly wouldn't tell somebody that I know that has an extremely public persona.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is what I think about the reason why he told you that. Number one, he was drunk and he just wanted to tell someone. I feel like it's probably weighing on him, and also. He's a preppy guy. This is my theory that we've talked about with these preppy sort of bro-ish guys. I don't date guys like that often, but I have in the past. They view us as like their dirty little secret. Like
Right.
we're
Yeah.
comedians, we're women of the
Right,
night.
right,
Like
right.
we're not to be taken seriously, really. But they can tell us they're like real shit because
Right.
the women that they date who are like respectable you could never say that.
What you're describing is a man's relationship to a prostitute.
Yes. Oh, but that's
Yeah, that's
Like, that's what
essentially
you're
what it
doing.
is.
we're one
like
degree away from
Yeah.
that.
We're their surrogate prostitutes.
Yeah.
But what's so funny is that we judge them almost as much as anybody else would.
Sure.
Right.
We just don't show it on our face because we know better.
Yeah.
Or you're also independent from them in
Yeah.
the first place, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
We're
like-
independent from them and we're storytellers, so we know that if we show it
Yeah.
on our face how horrified we are, you're not going to tell us the full story.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, please keep
So
going.
cunning.
Please keep going.
Like,
with
I'm
this
going to get as much juice out of this as I
Yeah.
possibly can.
I think that's a comedian thing. When you're in a situation with a weirdo, it's like that time that I was caught on the train with a guy who was clearly out of his mind. He was talking to people that weren't there. And I was like, it was just me and him. He didn't seem so dangerous. And I was like, I could get off and go into the other train. Or I could start engaging with him.
Oh my god.
And I was like, this is probably... But he was fine, and I didn't get much out of him. But I'm like, I could get a lot out of you. And I do want to know sincerely, like, are you lucid?
Right.
Where do you think you come from? What's your story?
Yeah, and you've already gotten to a certain point on this journey.
I'm already in with you.
Yeah, like you're going to get as much out of it as you can.
Did you fuck your brother? Like, whatever.
I seriously wonder if this is like something that, I mean, I'm not saying that this is a common thing, but do you think that people are carrying around, like harboring these
Yes.
secrets?
I think everyone has a secret that's super crazy.
I need to know them all.
Yeah, I know.
I need to know them all.
I mean, all my secrets are out there on the airwaves.
I know. I don't have any secrets.
Yeah.
No secret. That's nice.
But do you have secrets? No. Do you have secrets?
Do you have secrets?
No.
No. Oh, you're not going to tell us.
No, I'm not going to tell.
Yeah. I think everyone has a little bit. I mean, when you're in entertainment.
The only secrets I have they're so stupid. They're just like little things that I'm ashamed of from childhood that like are not a big deal if I ever said them out loud, but like I don't want to reveal them because I feel ashamed, but not because I fucked
You're
my
like,
brother.
it stays with me. Yeah. Totally. I think more people than you think, and I think a lot of straight-laced people, like, we don't think that they have these awful things, and a lot of them do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think most people have some nasty shit in their
closet. If you have any secrets that you want to get off your chest, you can write to hotmesscomedyhour@gmail.com. You don't have to say your name.
If you fucked your sibling.
Alternatively, you could add me on Facebook and just message me directly. Please. I would love to read your secrets.
Give it to us.
It's like post-secret.
Oh, post-secret.
I forgot.
Give it up for
about
post-secret. That was so good.
So wonderful.
Snaps.
Ugh. Maybe he wrote to Post Secret and he made like a really artsy collage of his dick and his brother's dick going in.
Of like a sketch of like two brothers DPing.
No, it's
like Simpsons cartoon porn or whatever with like Bart and Lisa, but two Barts. Sicko.
No, it would just be like two swords touching.
Oh, of course.
Like very
of course.
Medieval and, highbrow.
The family crest.
And then in like typewriter font.
Yeah,
I have to go with my brother.
So... speaking of wonderful people writing in, which you all should do, let's read a review, shall we?
Let's, please.
We got a lovely one from, I love this person's username on iTunes. It's Cunt Army Supporter.
Yes.
Our society that we invented after Trump got elected is called the Army of Cunts.
Oh, nice.
And and we have merch that says Army of Cunts. So I love that somebody took that on. I mean, I love that you're a supporter, and I love that that's
your username.
That's what your username is. Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
So the title of this review is "Don't Ever Stop Podcasting," and it's a 5-star review.
Good.
As it should be.
Andrea and Emily have created a fun, entertaining, and hilariously exciting podcast that is easily a highlight each week in my notifications.
I agree.
It's fantastic to listen to these outrageously funny, extremely witty, intelligent women give their real and honest perspectives on life.
Okay, did you write this? You have to be...
Yes.
Okay,
that's my secret.
Speaking of secrets, did you write this?
And Andrea's super hot, and that guy should fuck her.
Andrea is Cunt Army supporter.
She deserves it.
And furiously entertaining to follow their stories and their guests. Makes me proud to be a hot mess, too.
Shut door.
Sweetie. You're an angel.
Thank you so much,
great.
Cunt
Wow.
Army supporter. And if you want us to read a review on the show, first of all, write one. Second of all, click 5 stars. And third of all, write something nice. And this person really set the bar pretty high for you.
Yeah, that's major.
It's really wonderful, and we appreciate it. But, keep being a hot mess. Keep writing our reviews. Keep joining our army.
Live that truth.
And speaking of hot messes, Connor, you are here for a reason. And we like to ask our guest why they think they are a hot mess. So I will direct that question at you.
Okay. Yeah, I think, well...
Did you fuck someone with your brother?
I have never... We just have different tastes.
Okay.
So it wouldn't work out.
So sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. And I'm still processing it. No, I've never done that. I think I am like a hot mess, but it comes out in subtle ways. Like I'm just like the other day I was like just eating chicken wings. First of all, I was just so hungry. I was at the show and I was just eating chicken wings. And it was like a baby eating spaghetti. It was just so like, and then after like on stage I was like, sorry y'all had to see that. And I got off stage and the person was like, yeah. It's funny that you said that on stage because it was hard to watch. I was like, damn, but like that's pretty vanilla. I mean,
is it because when you start eating, you just get lost in the experience?
I get lost and I inhale food.
Yeah, I do
I
too.
just go like it's like I'm just very.
To me, there's like something beautiful about that, like the ability to be so unself-conscious. Like Andrea eats sushi on the train sometimes, and I'm like, I could never.
That is
fucking
something.
do that. But like,
see this judgment because that is, and then looks at me something.
like, don't get me wrong, it's gross, but on a certain level, I respect it.
I respect. If I saw somebody doing that, I'd be like, eat that sushi.
You dirty bitch. Eat it.
You figure it out with that ginger, the wasabi. I don't know how you're doing it.
I want to go on the train with a full rotisserie chicken.
Yo.
Yeah, that's confidence.
It would just symbolize so much for me. Well, you already, I mean, you kind of like made it seem like you don't really get laid that much.
Yeah.
So I want to know more about that. Like,
well, yeah, I can. What, did you have a specific question?
well, yeah. Are you a self-conscious person? Is it more to do with like you don't have time to seek out fresh dick? I
think I'm self-conscious when I'm sober, and then when I get really drunk, it flips. Like I'll never. It was like my first New Year's in New York, and I was with a couple of my friends. We're like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and we were like, this is gonna be so much fucking fun, and we finally end up getting to this party, and it's like perfect. You know, there's like drag queens performing, a refrigerator full of beer, and we're like, yes, let's just go. And like, it was one of those things where I just got like, so I was like a kid in a candy store. I was like, you know,
of course.
And then next thing you know, I am just like hammered out of my mind. I'm making out with a guy with a cane.
Wait, like he needed the cane? Like, was he old?
He
was
wasn't.
he just handicapped?
He wasn't old. And it wasn't like a style cane. It was like a prescription cane.
Okay, so not a pimp.
Not a pimp. No, this was just a short man who needed a cane.
A style cane is a great term.
For some yeah, it was just it was a medical cane. And my friends were like, "Oh my God, Connor." And I was like, "I know, I think he's really into me, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're going to go." So then I tried to make out with both of them, and they're both girls, and they're like, "What are you doing?" You know, and so.
Do you make out with girls for fun? Or are you like are you bi?
No, that was an irregular transgression. Because like, I'm not one of those gay guys who I'm like, let's make out, Trish. You know,
I was going to say, were you doing it for attention? Like how some girls make out sometimes?
No, that was not me. I was just like, I just love you guys so much, you know, just like,
oh.
No. And so like, no, we're going to go. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to go back and find the guy with the cane. And so it like this is like really why when I get messy, because I'm just like, I'm having the time of my life. I'd never leave, even though I should have left like 3 hours ago.
Right,
you know?
right.
So I'm like looking for the guy with the cane. And I'm essentially doing laps around this party. And I'm also wearing like these new shoes I got that were like just digging into my heels. So like blood is pooling in my shoes, right? And I'm like, where's the guy with the cane? And like there are drag queens like just like behind me doing just, and like.
Ironically, you would probably need to borrow his cane.
Hello? I'm like, give me your cane. He just topples over. But then it was so stupid because like I had got this like mustard yellow fedora that I was like, this is the
Connor.
look. No, it was the look. I was like bear, like the bear. Who's the bear with the yellow hat?
Oh, Paddington.
I was Paddington.
You're a fashion Paddington.
I was Paddington realness, extravaganza, and all of a sudden I'm like, my feet are bleeding. I'm hammered out of my mind without any of my friends there, and I'm like, where's my hat? So I'm like doing laps, and like I see a friend of mine, and he's like, oh hey, what's up? And I'm just like, I'm good, you know. And he's like, you want some blow? And I was like, sure. And like then
why not?
And then I don't even know how I got home. It was just what, but that doesn't happen often. But when it happens, when it rains, it pours. Do
you think that's like you seem very like career and is focused on stand up and stuff like that. You don't seem to like put much effort. I always like whenever you have bits about your personal life, you're always like, I don't give a fuck you. No one wants to, like, you know what I mean? And so it seems like maybe does it get pent up and then you just like go crazy one night and then like leave it?
Yeah, I think I just really really like to have a good time. Like I'm kind of hedonistic, you know? Like I love that. And so when something like when I've kind of been like, okay, it's New Year's, it's an event, or it's like a friend's birthday, or somebody's in town, you know, something like that, when it's like, all right, this isn't going to happen for who knows how long, then I'm like, let's go, you know? And then it's always like everybody's kind of with me to a point, and then sometimes I'm like, and so I mean, I don't think it's a problem. Now that I say it out loud, I'm like, maybe I'm having a problem.
Sounds really bad.
but it just happens so infrequently. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
Yeah, no. This sounds very familiar to me. I do this a lot. Very, very all or nothing because it's like I could never be the type of person that like drinks every single or like multiple times a week for a long time. Like that's not a sustainable lifestyle to me, and like I'm too focused on other things. But I almost like plan these vacations for myself, these like little mini vacations where I just like need that release, and like I just need to have a fucking blast for just one night. And I feel like it probably happens like once a month or something. But it sounds unhealthy when you say it out loud. But I actually think if you do it the right way, it keeps you on track toward like what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, and I'm confident in saying is that it's not like I've ever like hurt anybody. I never say anything hurtful or hateful, or because I don't really have anything hurtful or hateful to say in these situations.
You already said you'd never DP'd someone with your brother. Like that's the new standard as far as I'm concerned. You could say nothing to shock me at this point.
But it's like one of those things where when I'm having a good, it's never like I never get angry. Like I think when I was younger, maybe I had more of a temper when I was like inebriated.
Oh yeah. I did.
And I would just be like, "What the fuck? You left me." Blah 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 blah. But like now that I'm older, I'm like, no, if you want to go.
Yeah.
And for better or worse, I'm going to stay. And then usually I'm like, I'm going to, I'm getting much better at being like, I'm going to go too. Like if my people are leaving, I'm going with you guys. I'm not, there's no point in overstaying your welcome.
I often wonder like I can't drink anymore, but I often wonder if I started again, would I be able to do it responsibly? And I bet you...
I think most alcoholics think about that from time to time.
I'm like, if I go back to the good old days...
But you know what,
and
Andrea,
I'm sitting here like, I don't know, maybe you could.
Andrea, you'd be fine.
Andrea, I think, probably the thought should stop exactly there.
Yeah,
the thought.
I know. I think I'm just...
But on the DL, if you ever want to drink.
Andrea.
Let's go on a bender. I do miss that. When I hear those stories, it brings me back to the thing that I miss the most about drinking, which is the night where you start somewhere and you're just like, let's fucking see what happens.
Yeah, just endless possibilities.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
It's
like a sense of adventure.
And weird, crazy people. Like when you're partying, it's just like you're just entering a world that you don't regularly. And so there's a relief to that. And there's a
such sweet relief.
There's a freedom to it. It's exciting. There's guys with canes. I hit on a guy on crutches when I was hammered. He was really cute. He was actually an Olympian, I later found out. And he was way out of my fucking league. And I was so drunk, and I thought that, like, we were really vibing. Not the case. And so I leaned in to kiss him, but he wasn't interested, so he just hit me with this crutch.
Oh my. Use your words, sir.
I know. I mean,
he probably didn't have time.
He didn't have time. He couldn't communicate quickly enough that he wasn't interested, so he just like
rammed you.
It's like a lion tamer with a chair.
It really was. It was. He like bunted me. It was so humiliating. But
where did he hit you?
Like in the crotch, kind of.
In the crotch with the crutch?
Yeah.
He hit me right in the clitoris.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's good enough for me.
That's a magnum-sized crutch.
It was great. It was really great. But yeah, those nights of wildness are fun. But then there would be nights where I would like get into the coke and I would like get in fights with like work related. I pissed my pants once. Like it started to get not cute. But hedonism is a good word for it's just so.
It's fun.
You really are, Emily. You're much more of a hedonist, I feel like, than me. Even like you do drugs without feeling bad about them at all, and I still feel bad about drugs sometimes, which is stupid. I don't like why.
Do you mean like guilty?
Yeah, I feel guilty still sometimes.
Oh, there ain't nothing to feel guilty about.
I know. With pot, even too, sometimes, which is so crazy because. It's
legal.
It's stupid and
somewhere.
But I guess you can feel guilty for I don't know.
I feel guilty in terms of like oh, you're being a piece of shit, you're being lazy, or you're being like a burnout is where that guilt comes from. But I'm like, I work for a pothead who's like one of the most productive. There is the shitty pothead person, and I know that person, but like I know enough people that aren't that to be like, it's fine.
Yeah, but like I feel like it's a more productive use of your time than like, I mean, you'll watch Criminal Minds, which I would feel guilty about wasting my time doing that. Or like you take a bath every night.
You mean gaining in the experience of understanding how the criminal mind works?
You take a bath every single night.
It's like a 5-minute bath.
Look, I think you raise a good point, right? Where it's like whether you're taking a bath or getting fucked up, or
watching Criminal Minds. What I'm saying is you got to do what you need to do for self-care.
You're right.
And if that means taking drugs occasionally, that's what I'm going to do.
No, you're right.
Did you ever find the cane guy?
I never found him. I was at that part. I just never, for all I know, he was literally next to me the whole time. I was so just like, where are you?
Maybe he just switched out a prop with someone else. And you didn't notice the difference.
He's like wearing one of those glasses with a nose and a mustache. I'm like, where's the man with the cane?
Have you had serious relationships in New York, or are you mostly just like
no, not really?
And do you feel any which way about that, or do you care?
Well, I just can't believe that in a city of 8 million people, nobody wants to commit to my fine ass.
I
find it hard to believe too.
I find it hard to believe too.
I don't know, but maybe
But like, what are you doing?
I'm not spending a lot of time with other gay people.
Oh, I see.
That's
interesting. I never thought of that.
If I'm gonna be, super honest with myself, like I have gay friends, but the vast majority of my friends are not gay, and so like.
Yeah,
I'm just not meeting a lot of gay people.
Yeah. Do you feel like as a gay comedian surrounded by mostly women and mostly straight men, do you feel as if you're treated like a novelty ever, or does it feel kind of like does it feel unnatural, like, oh, I'm hanging out with a bunch of bro-y type people?
No, I mean, I grew up like with like bro-y dudes. I mean, it was a college town, so like nobody was like, fucking queers. Nobody was quite like that.
Yeah.
But like all of my socializing was with like straight guys pretty much. So like very and women. And so like very comfortable with that. So I just like didn't grow up with a lot of people who were out, I guess. And so like that's kind of what I am like maybe like realizing is that, not that I don't know how to make friends with gay people, but it's not almost what I've been like conditioned to do.
Yeah, well, it seems like you didn't have to go somewhere else to seek refuge, like, and be entrenched in like a purely gay community. Is that what you're saying? Like you were already out early, so it's like.
Well, I didn't come out until I was 22 years old. So I was,
really?
Yeah, and so all of my friends, I had gay friends, but most of my friends were straight guys and straight women and some in between. But where was I going with that? So yeah, so by the time I was 22, I was already. It wasn't like I was like sneaking out of the house to go to the gay. It's like I could drink if I wanted to go to a gay bar. Like I could do that. And I did that, and it was exciting. But like I never really went to bars to pick up women. So picking up men was like it also felt kind of equally.
Yeah.
Like foreign, or like I'm like I don't know what to do, hey, how's it going, can I buy you a drink? Everything felt like a bad movie line,
weird and contrived kind of. Yeah, it does feel like that.
So yeah, I had my last like boyfriend was back in Chicago. It's like, oh my god, like almost 3 years ago. And we met through work, but I heard he just moved here.
Oh shit.
And so if you're listening to this, I'm going to pretend that I don't know you're here. So when we run into each other on the train, I'm like, oh my God, what's up?
You're on my Rolodex.
Yeah, he's number one on the Rolodex, or he can be.
Well, last time I had ever texted him was, I think 2 years ago, like on his birthday or something. I was like, hey, just checking in. Happy birthday.
I love doing that.
No response.
What?
Rude.
So I'm like, bitch, you better be dead. Because I'm not. You did not get a new phone. Nobody gets a new phone.
Yeah, no one gets a new phone.
And if you're not responding to happy birthday,
hello,
get bent.
Hello.
Were you in a good? Was it a good ending? Like
yeah. Well, I mean, it was kind of funny. Like it was like one of those things where we started dating. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna move away. And he's like, that's okay, whatever, And so there's always kind of like a a timeline to it.
Right.
So that was the main reason.
And so then I was like, yeah, I'm like, I'm moving. He's like, yeah, I don't really want to move to New York. I'm like, I don't really want you to move on my behalf anyways.
You, yeah.
But look what happened. And yeah, now he's here. And so we broke, and like we did that thing where you break up. Like it was like a month before I moved, and then like for the last 3 weeks we were fucking, and it was great. Like it was like like better sex.
Because you know it's ending.
And there was like this abandon, and we're like, we're not dating, but you want to come over? Do you want to? And so
slow dancing in a burning room, baby.
Yeah, and like, oh my god,
John Mayer reference.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
so amazing and basic.
I feel triggered. As a gay man wearing all white, I feel triggered.
I'm sorry. Continuum was a great album.
It was a good. I agree.
I don't even know what that is.
Listen to it. It's really good.
But wait, what was it? Oh my god! But the last night with him was so depressing because we literally went to go see Cabaret.
Okay.
Like the movie with Liza Minnelli, because Liza is my
Liza.
I love her so much. Okay. And so we saw that. It's like about like Nazis and like
Cabaret's heavy.
Yeah, it's so
it's
heavy, which I did not realize.
I
saw it with my dad back.
It's very you think it's like, oh, it's Liza being jazzy in the 70s, and then it's like, no, this is like the end of like the Weimar Republic and the rise of the Nazis.
It's like gay people being like fucking killed.
I feel like musicals always try to trick you like that.
They do, yeah.
They make everything seem lighthearted and fun, but like secretly like everybody's dying.
Except for the Music Man. I think the Music Man is the one
the Music
musical
Man.
where it's just kind of like, it's about two white people falling in love. You know, it's like he lied to her and she took him back, you know?
Because of course she did, because women don't have standards.
We're in Iowa, you know? But then, and then after Cabaret, we walked back to his place, and it was like freezing rain at night. And we were just like, and I was like literally like getting on the plane the next day, and I was like, this is the saddest thing that I have ever experienced.
Yeah.
But he's here now. He works at a Trader Joe's apparently.
Oh, shit.
Where did you hear this? And
from a mutual friend.
We've got to go to that Trader Joe's.
Well, I
Which
went
Trader
the
Joe's
other
is
day.
it?
Do I say it feels like such a breach? Whatever, I'm saying it.
Okay.
The one on 6th Avenue.
Oh, that's a good one.
I used to actually work at that one.
That's a really good one.
And so the other day, I walked.
That is a really good one. Wait, that one gets way less crowded than.
It's just better organized.
Best kept secret.
But I went to,
not anymore.
I went to that one, and I was like kind of looking around for him, and I didn't see him, and I'm like, well, I guess I better buy something. So I like literally bought like B12 vitamins and like cereal and no milk, and it was like rush. You know, everybody else was like stocking up, and I'm just like nothing, like so suspicious. You know, it's like seeing an exterminator with a satellite dish on his van. You know, you're like, are you sure of that?
What are you doing here, sir?
Yeah, and you can't really sneak in and out of there because people are gonna want to talk to you about your purchases.
People are gonna want to talk to me, and at the same time, it's like I need a B12.
That's
you know, and they've got B12 at a very reasonable price.
That's not a lie. Were you coming out at 22? To go back to that, was there a reason why you not like waited that long? Did you feel like you were worried about your family, your friend groups, or was it just a comfort level thing?
Yeah, no, it's I think that's kind of the most insidious part about homophobia is that you can know, as I did, that everybody would accept it, but you were the only one who couldn't. You know, where like it was years and years and years and years of being like, I'm not gay. I mean, it'd be fine if I was, but I'm not.
Right.
You know, and it's like
it's internalized.
Yeah, and
to
you're
a
like
really high level.
And you're like, I just like that's not me. Like I love women. Like I want to get married to a woman, and just this constant. And you're like, it'd be fine. And like I know my parents would like me still, and I know my friends would like me still, and like it's not that. It's just that it's not me. You know, and it's just like. It's insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really fucked up.
I had a friend whose parents were really conservative, and he was out. He was a really good friend of mine, and they were fine. They weren't great about it, but they were fine. And we used to get drunk together, and he would be like, I don't want to be this way because it disappoints them.
That's so sad.
And I was like,
that's
holy
so tragic.
Shit. You know, like I hadn't, until then, I obviously understood it to a level, but I didn't understand like the way it was tearing him up.
Yeah.
And they were accepting-ish of him, and he was always he was very outwardly like, I don't give a fuck. And then to see like the switch to see what was really underneath, it was like, this is such a fucking shame.
Yeah.
Like that's and I could only be like, your parents should be really proud of you. You're incredible. You like, but it's like, what can I can't say.
Yeah.
I can't like make that innate feeling
Yeah.
go away. I think with time, I hope. But did you when you was it a relief when you came out?
Oh my
How was this?
God.
What was the switch that finally?
I just got chills thinking about how much of a relief it was.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and what happened was I had hooked up with one of my coworkers, another one actually. Man, I was really
Look at
going
you.
through. I was going through that Trader Joe's. Corporate Trader Joe's. This never happened. I guess. What do I care?
I'm sure they think all their employees.
Yeah,
fuck.
hello.
Yeah, come on, they're all in such a good mood.
Looking
Why is
good,
that?
Janet. Yeah. What was it? Oh, but yeah, so I had sex with her, and she was just a really good friend of mine, and we like hooked up, and it was really bad.
I'm sure you don't want to. You're not attracted.
It was just really bad
to her,
sex. Yeah, and like I had sex with women before and had girlfriends and stuff like that.
Was that awful? Like, did it feel put on the whole time?
It felt like sex. Like when I was having sex with my girlfriend, it would always be like, "Woo! Well, all right. Now that we got that over with,
Yeah.
let's go back to whatever." You know, it did feel kind of like a chore almost.
Sure,
but
of
I
course.
still like horny teenager. Like no problem there.
Yeah.
But so like we were just kind of laying in bed, and she goes, you know, everybody thinks you're gay, right? And I was like, and I was like, yeah, I think I knew that. I think I've all, you know. And she was like, yeah, well, what do you think about that? And I was like, I don't give a fuck. And she was like, okay. And then like there was like a couple days of dwelling on that, and then I was like, maybe like what, like I think I was just fed up.
Yeah.
With that inner monologue.
Do you think that? Are you happy? Not like I'm sure at the time you were extremely uncomfortable with, and that's like a very weird way to bring it up.
It's extremely
It's
weird.
extremely not sensitive. But are you happy that she kind of like threw it out there in that way?
Yeah, when I think I knew everybody thought
Yeah.
I was gay, and it's funny to say like thought when it's like everybody knew. I think I knew everybody knew. I think I
Yeah.
knew everybody knew. I was
Yeah.
and so it felt so good to not have to like
hide any of it.
not have to hide it or not have to like put on and not have to like explain to people like no, I'm straight. Like
Right.
Do you know what I don't
people would
understand?
ask.
Yeah.
People would ask.
People would be like, so are you gay? You know,
Yeah.
or like, and I'd be like, no. They'd be like, oh, okay.
So did you, like, when you came out, did you have to come out to everybody? Or, like, did you have to come out to, like, your coworkers who already thought...
Well, it's kind of like I came out to my friends directly. Like I came out to my really good friend and my roommate the next day, and my other roommate and my friend was having like a birthday party that night, and I came out to a bunch of people like individually. Like came out to my one friend walking down the street, which was very fun. Like I tried,
Like, hey, I'm gay.
yeah, no, we ran into each other. And we're going to the same party, and he's like, "How's your day been?" I'm like, "Well, you know, I'm gay." So, and he's like, "That's awesome," you know.
Yeah.
So that was the best part. Is like it was very like kind of nerve wracking because it's like embarrassing, you know, or not embarrassing, but like
That's how you're
it's like
conditioned
I think
to
it's like
feel.
humiliating in a good way, like to kind of like express humility and just be like, I am this way.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you say something that you're ashamed of or nervous about, it's the first time is really hard. And then it's like, you just want to say it all day
Yeah.
to everyone.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to yell it because I said it first to myself out loud, and then after I said it, I was like, oh yeah,
That must have felt really
yeah,
nice.
it was insane. It was like in my kitchen. It was like I was the
Wow.
only one there. I was just like, I'm gay, and I was like,
You were like,
yeah.
Wow.
It was like I was like, woo! Yeah, it was insane. It was really cool. And I wish I want a lot. I want everyone to feel that experience.
Of course.
You know?
Why? Because why? It's so tragic.
Well, it's like why is straight the default?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. You know what's interesting is I was listening to Tim Dillon talk about this. Tim Dillon is a gay comedian. He's from Long Island. He's very, like, you wouldn't see him and be like,
Yeah.
fairy.
Right.
He's very, you know, blue collary.
He doesn't look gay. Yeah.
If you're gonna be an asshole about who quote unquote looks gay, he does not.
Right.
But he was like he was talking about that it's really great that gay culture is celebrated and that it's like it's so much better now than it has been. But he was like, I wish that being gay was not like quote unquote something about me. I wish that you could just be gay, like the way that straight people, their sexuality doesn't play into like a part of their character. It's like, I wish that was something that you find out later about me in another conversation. It's not a pivotal point of people's experience of me. And I think that's like a very valid, because at first when he said it, I was like, oh, it's kind of like it sounds like he's being shameful about being gay. And he was like, no, it's not that I'm ashamed. It's just like, I'm a private person. I don't want it to be the centerfold of
even
my
the fact,
voice.
Even the fact that like we're saying now, and other people do make the comment that he doesn't, quote, seem gay. That becomes part of his character, that he is somebody who doesn't seem stereotypically gay, and that like it becomes, even though that's like not part of his,
him in another way.
It defines him in another way.
Yeah.
Even like the negative space defines you.
Yeah, well, it's
at
like gay people are diverse, you know, obviously, and I think the bottom line is that gay people don't want to be reduced to a sex act, right? They don't want to ipso facto like homosexuality. You know, it's like I identify as gay, and I think that's a big part of who I am, and I think I make a point to make it at least somewhat visible, just as like as an identifying characteristic. Like, I'm not, like, that doesn't matter to me so much. Like, I don't really see straight people as a standard, no offense.
No, you should.
You know what I mean?
It's a fucking mess. You heard about that brother fucker.
Yeah, like, I'm not trying to fuck with my brother.
We're breeders. It's awful.
Yeah.
We're gross.
So, but I do understand what he means when it's like, oh, he's gay and that means that. Like,
yeah.
That's, like, because I don't want people to be like, oh, what kind of guy does he like then? You know, because I'm not, you know, because like,
even though I asked you up top what guy you liked when I met you.
But I mean, we all, I mean, I said I didn't like twinks, you know,
sure.
So I brought it up.
That's
so
okay.
Sorry, twinks, if you're trying to fuck, not into it.
Good. They need to be put down.
I'm sorry.
They need to be put in their place.
They're very high up on their horse. I think it's an interesting point that he makes, that he doesn't have a choice in it being a way people characterize him, which is it's a fucking shame. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're like maybe more so in the past and less so now. But I don't know. It's like gay comedy or like women. You know, it was like niche.
Yeah,
it was
of course.
like this is fun. And now that everything's becoming so leveled out,
it's
like,
great.
I think it's great, but I think there is still kind of a hangover of like, oh, he's the gay comic or she's the Filipino comic.
Well, yeah, I mean, there aren't a whole lot of people to model after as a gay comic.
Right.
I mean, there are a lot of people to look up to.
I feel like right now there are a lot of gay comics on the rise.
That
are really like they.
But like, look at Todd Glass. How long was he? You
I know.
like,
yeah,
what a prison to be in for no fucking. I mean, I understand the reason, but it's like yeah.
It was like Todd Glass, Ross Matthews,
like who?
Eddie Izzard, and then Graham Norton,
and it's also, I wonder too, like
Ellen,
Ellen,
icon.
I watch her playing with puppies on Instagram way too much. But I think also I do you worry, like sometimes I think gay performers are expected to be more flamboyant, and I feel like that's another, like, you get, just like women are supposed, or they're expected to be kind of more sexual, or we talk about how we're
but there are always so many contradictions in that, because like as soon as somebody's like flamboyant, they're like, oh, he's like like he doesn't write jokes, you know, but see, that's also my own paranoia,
of course,
but it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, they're just doing, they're a clown. They're not,
exactly.
They're not a comedian. And then it's like, okay, then I'll like be butch. And then it's like, well, then what's that all about? But you're gay,
but then
right?
it's like, you're not being honest to who you are. Or like some people are flamboyant and some people are not flamboyant.
Exactly. And I think like you can't critique somebody on like that, like
their characteristics,
like because or like their style. Like if you don't like their style, then that's just your taste. You know, that's not really like. It's hard to critique, you know, because you're not looking at the whole thing. You're
starting when you enter the stage at like not a deficit, but you're starting and you look different than the standard. So already there's the expectations of what you are going to be, and confusion if you don't feel what feels comfortable. Like, I'm a very aggressive comic. That people, and me being female, people are like doubly more freaked out by me because I'm aggressive. If I was a guy, I feel like...
Yeah, but the thing is, if you have to acknowledge it right off
of course
the bat, and that takes the power away from the thing that it is, because comedy, I mean, good comedy is about honesty and really like being self-aware and upfront about who you are.
And I think, like stand-up so much, I think like some of the best sets I've ever seen have been by people who are having the most fun at nobody else's expense. It's people who are just like, it's like, man, you can really entertain yourself.
Of course.
And then it's magnetic. Then everybody's like, I want whatever you're having, because you are just having way more fun than I am. And you can never have fun doing what you think other people think you should do.
Yes.
They
can sense.
I that's such a total, what's the word? Not cliche, but starts with a P. What's the word? It doesn't matter.
Penis.
Yeah, it's such a penis. No, there's a word and it's going to come to me later, but it's like one of those things where it's like,
what's a synonym for it?
Cliche almost, where platitude.
Ooh,
platitude.
SAT word.
Like something that said so much that it, like something that's true that said so much that it ends up on a pillow, where it's like, yes, I suppose that, goals are just dreams with deadlines, but like, that's so stupid,
Sure.
So where was I going with that?
Being yourself on stage.
Oh yeah, being yourself on stage. Like, that's such a platitude, but it's so key, I think.
Well, I was having like a really hard time a few months back because I needed lots of stage time, and I was going up a lot, and I was just really not doing well. And my beloved friend of the show, Andrew Casertano.
Oh, Andrew!
I fucking love him. And he was like, Andrew, you're swinging at the fences. And I was like, what? And he was like, you are going up a lot because you feel like you have to, but right now you don't. You're not enjoying your material, and you're doing this like a chore, and so everyone can sense that you just don't want to be. You're just saying it. And he's like, it's just. He was like, I hate to be like, give up for a second or peel back.
Take a step back.
But he's like, I know you. I'm watching you right now. You don't seem like yourself, and you don't seem at peace. He's such a fucking Buddha.
So
it's
wise.
crazy. He's so wise. I love him. Congrats on moving out of your parents' house, Andrew Casterton.
Okay,
congratulations.
but also, no offense, it's like across the park.
Right.
It's like not
Is
that
it
far
really?
away. It's a 20-minute walk away. I'm sorry, Andrew. I didn't mean to out you to everyone. But I was like, oh, you're moving out? That's great. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to walk my stuff over. I'm like, what?
I'm sorry, you're moving to...
across the street?
But it's not his parents' house. And I think,
And
we
Andrew,
got to
once
give
again,
credit.
I'm sorry, but I love you.
We got to give credit where credit's due.
Andrew Casertano!
And speaking of giving credit where credit is due, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Please, thanks for having me. I had a blast.
I
so good.
am continuing to sound more and more fucked up the more I talk.
You're gonna be so fucked up by the die tonight from brother fucking.
This might be the last time you
chlamydia.
guys hear my voice.
Yeah.
And if so,
Make it count.
it's been real. It's been fucking real, guys. Yeah, we just want to quickly announce that we put up the video from our live show at New York Comedy Festival on our Patreon for anybody who pledges $5 and up. So this would be a really good time for you guys to join Patreon and start supporting us.
Please do. It means a lot.
Because, we provide you with free entertainment, and you know us, you love us. And
I'm out there reading my texts from these guys I'm trying to fuck.
Yeah, we're doing God's work, really. And it's a really fun video. It was a really fun show.
Yeah.
And I think you guys would enjoy it. So, yeah, $5 and up on Patreon. And you get that video for free and all the other rewards.
And our bonus show is on there as well, may I say. That we forget about that sometimes. But there's bonus shows that we record in the middle of the fucking night in Queens. And we spill all sorts of secrets.
Oh, yeah, speaking of secrets.
I admitted to getting molested on one of them. I
think that was a secret to yourself.
It really was. But I want to just give a shout out to all of our $5 and up patrons. Thank you so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it. It means the world. Benjamin West, Seamus Leahy, Allie Mae, Jeff Zimmer, my man, Aldo Caballero. Aldo comes out to like every show that we do also and is the coolest, best friend in the world. Chris Walden, Sarah McClellan, Mimi Cherry, aka Series of Unfortunate Events podcast. Great plug.
Way to plug your podcast in the Patreon name, girl.
So good. Catherine Heller, Katie Perez, Sarah Tamech, Tracy, Matthew Maki, GX Barnett, our fucking Facebook Live #1 every Friday.
We Facebook Live after every show, and sometimes it's just him watching live, and
God
it's
bless.
a special moment that we get to share with
And that's
him.
a Patreon level. You get to be part of that group. Ann Anderley, another Facebook Live regular. Chimda Hennessy, Tom Brilliante, and soon-to-be guest Shimon Halpert.
Mm-hmm.
Mysterious.
He contributes on the reward level that you get to be a guest on the show.
Wow.
Yes.
Which is our $100 reward level.
Get in there. So thank you so much. And you also have a podcast of your own.
Yes.
What is that for the people?
Well, listen up, people. It's called Wiki Freaks with a Z. All right. I host it with Jill Wiener, fellow comedian, New York comedian. She's Fabouche. And we go onto Wikipedia. We go to the related or the featured article of the day and just follow that. Just follow it through the whole way. You learn a lot. It's a lot of fun. Jill's so smart. She's the one who came up with the idea. I'm just along for the ride.
It's a great show.
Man,
You don't have to admit to that.
no, I got to
It's
do
your
it.
brainchild too.
I'm like the Spain.
You're the talent.
Yeah. No. Hear that, Jill? But no, it's a ton of fun. Like this last episode, we learned all about Viking funerals, which are disturbing, and we started on like helmets.
Viking funerals?
Yes, how they would sacrifice like a girl, and there's a woman literally called an angel of death.
Yeah, they're always killing people.
Yeah,
those Vikings.
It's like you think Vikings are brutal, and then you hear about their funerals, and you're like, damn, he's already dead.
God damn.
Wow, you can't even pay respect after they're dead.
And there's horse meat. It's so we were like, oh my blog, but
I love Oh My Blog. This is really favorite of mine.
Oh My Blog is great, right? Feel free to use it at home. But yeah, Wiki Freaks, it's on iTunes. Subscribe, rate 5 stars, get into it. And we have a Facebook page, Twitter.
And what's your social media as well?
My social media, thank you for asking, is my Twitter handle is Connor Creagan, at Connor Creagan. And on Instagram, I am Speaking My Truth 247.
Amazing.
I'll explain later.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can follow me at Lubination. You can follow Andrea at Andrea Comedy. And fuck you. And you can follow us at Hot Mess Comedy Hour on Instagram and Hot Mess Podcast on Twitter. It's a comedy podcast. 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 Podcast.